Tales of Revolution, Persecution, War, and Intrigue, as well as a senior fellow over at the America First Policy Institute. Gentlemen, thank you. I want to begin with Iran. We heard from President Trump at the Oval Office, his pretty extensive Q&A with reporters. I want to play a little bit of his exchange where he's giving the lay of the land or where Iran is. He used the word decimated, or some other comments within the past hour. All right, we're going to get to the Trump soundbite. If we have a control room, we'll play that. But it doesn't look good, Ken. I know the Hill, they want to try to say, the left, that there's no strategy here. It sounds like it's working. The biggest state sponsor of terrorism is over, and every single day, like today, as they gather, they're literally gathering again today, and more of the top leadership destroyed. Your take on where we are in the mission, the objectives, and President Trump's comments that it will not stop?
Well, certainly there is a plan, Bianca. It's a very extensive military planning, moving all those assets in place from around the world, so they will be in theater in time. I heard the president commenting on the relationship with Israel. Well, this was coordinated with Israel. Our planes were in the air at the same time Israel's planes were in the air in the first strike on Saturday morning, the strike that took out the supreme leader and most of the top military leadership. We heard today also from Israel that they hit the Assembly of Experts, as your correspondent in Israel just mentioned. That is the group of people, of clerics, who are responsible for selecting the next supreme leader. So, you know, I guess when more than 2 or 3 clerics get together these days in Iran, it's the Virgin's call.
Yeah, there you go. Way to put it. I want to talk to you about the messaging because, you know, at first there were some critics, Hogan, especially the Democrats, saying at first President Trump says this was about people, then it was about we got them before they got us. But Witkoff statements saying that when they sat down at a negotiating table and the Iranians basically said, we have enough to make 11 nuclear bombs. And President Trump also echoing that, saying this is why we had to act now, because we believe that they would have had a nuclear bomb. The world needed this. Let's play this now that we have this queued up.
We were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack. If we didn't do it, they were going to attack first. I felt strongly about that. And we have great negotiating people that do this very successfully and have done it all their lives very successful. And based on the way the negotiation was going, I think they were going to attack first.
Okay, do you think he should have led with that first in some of the earlier videotape statements over the weekend?
I mean, you know, I think what Donald Trump has done here, quite frankly, is a very systematic surgical maneuver in the Middle East. And I, for one, was on board with it from the beginning because of the message he articulated. A lot of people are questioning that message. And I was clear from day one. He last term, the Iran can't get a nuclear weapon. That was part of it. He also wanted to completely destroy, if not greatly dismantle, the ballistic missile program, which was far outpacing the defensive weaponry from nearby American allies and interests as well. And then third was to prevent them from continuing their role as the world's largest state sponsor of terror. All the things he's talking about fell in that scope. The fact that now he's talking about threats and he thought they knew they would strike first, they've already been striking us now for the last 50 years. And so while Republican presidents, Democrat presidents, Republican Congresses and Democrat Congresses have complained for decades about places like Venezuela and Maduro, Iran for sure, and all their issues. This is the only president so far that's had the guts to say, you know what? Everyone knows this is a problem. I'm going to eliminate the problem that threatens not just America, but our interests around the world. It makes total sense to me.
Ken, on the Hill today, Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, CIA Director Radcliffe, and General Dan Kane briefing Senate and the House of Representatives. They will take a vote on war powers later this week. The fact that that is also happening as they are grilling Kristi Noem who's trying to keep our country safe. Many say with the open border after 4 years. There's a lot of hypocrisy, I think some people are calling out. Let's play Nome a short time ago on what ICE's mission is and what it needs to be today.
Our department has delivered historic results and has made our communities safer. Since the start of President Trump's second term, daily encounters along the southwest border declined by 96% compared to the Biden administration's daily average.
But somehow, on the left, ICE is the problem, Ken. And now we have sleeper cells potentially, and we had something the FBI says looks like terrorism hours after we struck Iran.
Well, you know, those sleeper cells are very real, and FBI directors, not just the current one, Kash Patel, but Christopher Wray before him, have warned of sleeper cells. Look, 25 years ago, I had a FBI Crown Victoria in front of my house in Kensington, Maryland, because of threats from Iranian terrorists. I write about that in my book, The Iran House. They've tried to kidnap me twice in Iraq and other places. Look, the Iranians are very serious about this, and they devote tremendous amounts of resources to intelligence and to the terrorist operations overseas. It's not just Hezbollah, it's not just Hamas, it is these cells. Remember, they tried to kill the Saudi ambassador at the Watergate Hotel, and at the time, they chose the wrong Mexican. They chose a hitman, and the Mexican they chose just happened to be a DEA informant. So they're not always skilled at it, but they're always at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they continue to try in their final fleeting moments, you know, with these civilian attacks on embassies. Tight on time, Hogan, but yeah, I'll give